Gurave Namaha. Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Is it on? Namo Mahavadayaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Garatrise Namaha. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj. And we are at Adi Lila chapter 3. The external reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Srimad Bhagavatam, it is repeatedly and clearly said that the essence of religion in the age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Excuse me. O King, in this way, people in Dwapara Yuga worship the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga, they also worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the regulations of the revealed scriptures. Kindly now hear of that from me. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. My dear brothers, please hear all these glories of Lord Chaitanya. This verse clearly summarizes his activities and characteristics. The two syllables Krishna are always in his mouth, or he constantly describes Krishna with great pleasure. There are two meanings of the word Krishna Varna. Indeed, nothing else but Krishna issues from his mouth. If someone tries to describe him as being of blackish complexion, the next adjective, Tvisa Akrishnan, immediately restricts him. His complexion is certainly not blackish. Indeed, his not being blackish indicates that his complexion is yellow. By performing the sacrifice of congregational chanting of the holy name, learned scholars in the age of Kali worship Lord Krishna, who is now non-blackish, because of the great upsurge of the feeling of Srimati Radharani. He is the only worshipable deity for the Paramahamsas, who have attained the highest stage of the fourth order, sannyas. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, show us his great causeless mercy. One can vividly see his glowing complexion of molten gold, which dispels the darkness of ignorance. The sinful life of the living beings results from ignorance. To destroy that ignorance, he has brought various weapons, such as his plenary associates, his devotees, and the holy name. The greatest ignorance consists of activities, whether religious or irreligious, that are opposed to devotional service. They are to be known as sins, kalmasha. Raising his arms, chanting the holy name, and looking upon all with deep love, he drives away all sins and floods everyone with love of Godhead. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya, bestow his causeless mercy upon us. His smiling glance at once drives away all the bereavements of the world, and his very words enliven the auspicious creepers of devotion by expanding their leaves. Taking shelter of his lotus feet invokes transcendental love of God at once. Anyone who looks upon his beautiful body or beautiful face becomes freed from all sins and obtains the wealth of love of Godhead. In other incarnations, the Lord descended with armies and weapons, but in this incarnation, his soldiers are his plenary parts and associates. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always the most worshipful deity of the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, who came in the garb of ordinary men, bearing love for him. He instructs his own pure devotional service to his own devotees. Will he again be the object of my vision? His plenary parts and associates perform the work of weapons as their own specific duties. Please hear from me another meaning of the word anga. According to the evidence of the revealed scriptures, a bodily limb, anga, is also called a part, amsha, and a part of a limb is called a partial part, upanga. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father, Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water, born from Nara, Garbhodakshya Vishnu, and that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. The manifestation of the Narayan who predominates in everyone's heart, as well as the Narayan who lives in the waters Karna, Garbha, and Ksira, is your plenary portion. You are therefore the original Narayan. The word anga indeed refers to plenary portions. Such manifestations should never be considered products of material nature, for they are all transcendental, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Sri Advaita Prabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu are both plenary portions of Lord Chaitanya. Thus they are the limbs, angas, of his body. The parts of these two limbs are called the upangas. Thus the Lord is equipped with sharp weapons in the form of his parts and plenary portions. All these weapons are competent enough to crush the faithless atheists. Sri Nityananda Kusai is directly Haladhara, Lord Balaram, and Advaita Acharya is the personality of Godhead himself. These two captains, with their soldiers, such as Srivas Thakur, travel everywhere, chanting the holy name of the Lord. Lord Nityananda's very features indicate that he is the subduer of the unbelievers. All sins and unbelievers flee from the loud shouts of Advaita Acharya. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the initiator of Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. One who worships him through Sankirtan is fortunate indeed. Such a person is truly intelligent, whereas others who have but a poor fund of knowledge must endure the cycle of repeated birth and death. Of all sacrificial performances, the chanting of the Lord's holy name is the most sublime. One who says that 10 million Asvamedha sacrifices are equal to the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna is undoubtedly an atheist. He is sure to be punished by Yamaraj. In the auspicious introduction to the Bhagavad Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has given the following verse as an explanation. I take shelter of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is outwardly of a fair complexion, but is inwardly Krishna himself. In this age of Kali, he displays his expansions, his angas and upangas, by performing congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. In the Upaparanas, we hear Sri Krishna showing his mercy to Vyasadeva by speaking to him as follows. O learned Brahmana, sometimes I accept the renounced order of life to induce the fallen people of the age of Kali to accept devotional service to the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata, the Puranas and other Vedic literatures all give evidence to prove that Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Krishna. One can also directly see Lord Chaitanya's manifest influence in his uncommon deeds and uncommon Krishna-conscious realization. But faithless unbelievers do not see what is clearly evident, just as owls do not see the rays of the sun. O my Lord, those influenced by demoniac principles cannot realize you, although you are clearly the supreme by dint of your exalted activities, forms, character and uncommon power, which are confirmed by all the revealed scriptures, in the quality of goodness and the celebrated transcendentalist in the divine nature. O my Lord, everything within material nature is limited by time, space, and thought. Your characteristics, however, being unequaled and unsurpassed, are always transcendental to such limitations. You sometimes cover such characteristics by your own energy, but nevertheless, your unalloyed devotees are always able to see you under all circumstances. Those whose nature is demoniac cannot know Krishna at any time, but he cannot hide himself from his pure devotees. There are two classes of men in the created world. One consists of the demoniac and the other of the godly. The devotees of Lord Vishnu are the godly, whereas those who are just the opposite are called demons. Advaita Acharya Goswami is an incarnation of the Lord as a devotee. His loud calling was the cause for Krishna's incarnation. Wherever Sri Krishna desires to manifest his incarnation on earth, first he creates the incarnation of his respectable predecessors. Thus respectable personalities, such as his father, mother, and spiritual master, all take birth on earth first. Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri, Srimati Satchidmata, and Srila Jagannath Mishra all appeared with Sri Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya having appeared, he found the world devoid of devotional service to Sri Krishna, because people were engrossed in material affairs. Everyone was engaged in material enjoyment, whether sinfully or virtuously. No one was interested in the transcendental service of the Lord, which can give total relief from the repetition of birth and death. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. Advaita Acharya thought, if Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness. My name, Advaita, will be fitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the movement of the chanting of the holy name. While he was thinking about how to propitiate Krishna by worship, the following verse came to his mind. Okay, we stop here for today, reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Adi Lila Chapter 3, the external reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Then we reading from Sri Guru and His Grace by Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj. I command you, become Guru. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:31-9. O Krishna, the nectar of your words and the narrations of your pastimes give life to us who are always suffering in this material world. This nectar is broadcast all over the world by great souls, and it removes all sinful reactions. It is all auspicious and filled with spiritual power. Those who spread this message of Godhead are certainly doing the greatest relief work for human society and are the most magnanimous welfare workers. This is what is necessary, and this is what is universal. Everyone can be satisfied to the highest degree in their hearts only by the nectar of Krishna's words and the nectarian descriptions of his activities. This is because Krishna is Rasa Vaisa, the reservoir of all pleasure, and Akila Rasamrita Murti, ecstasy himself. Krishna's very nature is sweet. Maduram Maduram Vapur Asya Vibor, Maduram Maduram Vadanam Maduram, Madhu Grandi, Mirdu Smitam Etat Aho, Maduram, 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 Maduram. O Lord Krishna, the beauty of your transcendental form is sweet, but your beautiful face is even sweeter. The sweet smile on your face, which is like the sweet aroma of honey, is sweeter still. I am being nectarized. This verse is found in Bilvamangala Thakur's Krishna Karnamrita. He says, sweet, 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 sweetness. Krishna is sweetness personified. At my first sight, I thought Krishna was Cupid, who can capture everyone. But then I saw, no, this is not just like lust personified, which can be experienced only in the material world. This is Chinmoy, spiritual substance. I see that this sweetness is spiritual and characteristic. I feel it is the very gist of all sweetness. What is this? My eyesight is being nectarized. I am experiencing nectar pouring on my eyes. O Krishna has already conquered my heart. I am captured. I am captivated by sweetness personified. My dear friends, where is Krishna, who is Cupid personified, brilliant as the Kadamba flower? Where is Krishna, sweetness himself, the sweetest nectar for my eyes and mind? Where is Krishna, who loosens the hair of the gopis? He is the supreme source of divine bliss. He is my life and soul. Has he come before my eyes again? This is Bilvamangala Thakur's statement in Krishna Karnamrita 68. Whatever type of sorrow or affliction there may be, All different layers of painfulness will be removed. This nectar of the words and pastimes of Krishna gives us life. It gives us hope that we can live a higher life, that we were not created only to suffer in this mortal world, but to live a life which can soar up and transcend this painful life of mortality. We have that sort of life of vitality in our own intrinsic form. The speculationists say that Krishna consciousness only does away with all sinfulness, but theirs is only an external acquaintance with Krishna consciousness. Sin is nothing in comparison with his purifying capacity. As soon as we come in contact with Krishna, even in the form of mere sound through the ear, our real welfare begins to awaken. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarayanam. Krishna consciousness is infinitely surcharged with all the resources of our welfare. And those who can distribute Krishna consciousness to the world are really benevolent and kind-hearted. They give the most who give Krishna to those who are helpless and disappointed. Only this sort of transcension should be continued. Only this sort of transaction should be continued in the world to save these souls suffering from the disease of mortal connection. Divine nectar. The descriptions about Krishna are like divine nectar. So go on with this transaction, always giving Krishna consciousness, and if you give Krishna consciousness, you will have an ample supply of Krishna consciousness that will descend from the highest position. If you are sincere to distribute Krishna consciousness, you will have no want in your own capital. New capital will be supplied to you as much as you can give it to others. It will have connection with the infinite source. So go on, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yara deke tara kaha Krishna upadesha, amara agyaya guruhana tara e desha. Whomever you find, talk with him only about Krishna. We have no other engagement. Whomever you find, any soul you come across, try to save him from this desert of mortality. I command you, don't be afraid. Take the position of Guru, the giver, and give it to everyone. Then Mahaprabhu says, and in this transaction, you will find my backing. If you obey my command for distribution to one and all, then you will find that I'm there, backing you in this work. So your great master has engaged you, all like so many dedicated soldiers. Now you must do relief work in this world of mortality and death. Do relief work. Somehow we have to get Krishna consciousness for ourselves and also carry this news to our neighbors. Mahaprabhu says, whomever you meet, tell him about Krishna, and in this way save the people. They are all under the influence of internal mortality. Only this path is relevant to their condition. All other talks are irrelevant. Jai, Sri Guru and His Grace Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Hari Yaraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Kadadara Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Rakuna Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasara Kuna Ejai Kusai Kuri Charana Vrinda Jai Te Vignana Savista Pura Ejai Kosai Jamurita Radhas Tam Savara Padare Numura Panchakras Tam Dira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanebas Janame More Avilas Ejai Kosai Jabe Braja Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Purila Prakash Anam Devara Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Sri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayama Sri Guru Vaishnava Pad Koriya Hari Nam Sankirtana Kore Naruttamadas Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Nitai Kora Haribo, Nitai Kora Haribo, Nitai Kora Haribo, Nitai Kora Haribo. Jaya Sabai Kara Sisi Guru Kuranga Sundar Radha Kiridai Juki Jaya Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddha Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Sri Rupa Nuka Govaka Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai Sapashara Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Sapashara Sri Mama Prabhu Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Ganga Yamuna Chu Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Sri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Sri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sri Purushottama Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat East London Chapter Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat West London Chapter Ki Jai Samadvaita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Samadvaita Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol